In this video, I'm going to be talking some more about the mother wound and how it relates to healing the collective. I've done 2 videos prior that you're welcome to check out, but you can just start here as well and it will make sense. One of the most important places to look when you want to heal is the wound that developed with our attachment to our mother between the ages of 0 and 7. Everything is a microcosm of the macrocosm. So healing this wound deeply impacts our relationship with our own masculine, the external masculine, our human relationships, and the relationship to the planet as a whole. Regardless of our own individual journeys, the wounds, the issues, the emotions are basically the same in just different variations. We've been taught for so many years that the way to heal is to fix other people, to change other people, to save other people, to rescue other people. And that's just not correct. The way we do it is internally first. We have a big push now to go out and save the planet and heal the planet. And yeah, the planet is in need in varying degrees of being treated better. I think that what we need to do is get out of the fucking way. Mostly. But not get out of the way in like humans are a blight on the face of the earth sort of way, which is what we would be led and guided to believe. I believe very much that as we heal ourselves, all of the rest of that stuff will work out, because what will happen is the people that are really meant to make a particular difference externally will be called divinely to do it. Right now, most people, even people on missions, are being called and guided more from their egos and their fear. When we heal the mother wound fully internally, we connect to our intuition in the deepest ways, and we connect to our higher self in the deepest ways. And so all these external factors will resolve. You can't solve a problem with the same level of intelligence that created it. And mostly the push to any form of like planetary transformation right now, however benevolent it seems to be, is mostly coming from the level of intelligence that's the problem to begin with. So, what is the mother wound collectively? It's a little tricky because, as with anything, it depends on your intention and where you're coming from when you look at a particular thing. It's not so much the concept as much as it is the energy behind it. Like I said, it's not me, but Einstein said it. You cannot solve a problem with the same level of intelligence that created it. When you look at something with judgment and fear, regardless of the actions you're just taking the actions of judgment and fear. A lot of people have a problem with the system we live in, and so do I. It's a mess. But when you get angry and frustrated and you want to tear down the system and have a revolution, if you're coming from that place of anger, hate, and fear, all you're going to do is put up another system that is the same or worse, no matter what your fucking ideas are. And this is why healing the internal mother wound is what the planet needs the most. The mother wound manifests as, well, what a lot of people call the patriarchy. Now, I don't love that term, not because I disagree with the overall concept of the feminine being suppressed and subjugated. I completely agree that that is what has happened, and that's the problem. It depends on where you're coming from with it. When it's taught, like in schools and universities, a lot of that's just coming from the victim mindset, division, hate, judgment, blame mentality. So even though there's some truth to it, it's not taught metaphysically or esoterically, or from the intention of really healing anything. It's taught in a way like, young women, listen, you live in a society run by evil men, fuck the men, you're a victim, and it just turns them into like angry, bitter people, which is the same energy that they're supposedly trying to get them to fight against, because you become what you fight. That's actually still the patriarchy. The feminine energy, we can say, is like, caring, nurturing, protective, intuitive, emotional, loving, masculine energy can be those things too. That energy on earth was suppressed. And so the wound that was created was this imbalance between like male female, which is, action oriented, directive, task oriented, building oriented, drive, motivation, versus, resting, nurturing, loving, yin, yang. So what happened as the feminine was suppressed is we have a version of the masculine, which I would call the immature masculine, because otherwise we just label all masculine as, a problem. And then we're still in the hate, divide, and rule sort of paradigm. An immature masculine, which became an immature masculine because it was separated from the feminine, separated from the whole. And it went out conquering, condemning, comparing, competing, dominating. And that's the world we've had. Out of sync with nature, out of sync with the rhythms of the earth, out of sync with the rhythms of the universe. Pure control. The surrender trust element basically shut down. And that's in everything. That paradigm is in every layer of consciousness, whether it be Christianity, Buddhism, atheism, manifestation. It's all tainted through that collective filter up until about, now when we're starting to come out of it. So the importance of healing this is critical. And how do you heal it? You heal it internally. You heal it through balancing your own masculine feminine dynamics. You can't have action without rest. You can't have sustainable action without nurturing. You can't have meaningful anything without connection. But in 3D, because we still live in 3D, you also can't get anything done without action. It's this perpetual balance of the harmony of both. The patriarchy, the energetic patriarchy, has fucked up men as much as it's fucked up women in a different way. Men have a hard time connecting to their hearts. They have a hard time connecting to their emotions. They have a hard time letting go of, their mental patterning and their desire to control and their overthinking and their wanting to dominate. And historically, you could look and be like, well, it's been better for men because they've been in power. And I don't know if that's true or not. It could be. I don't really have a judgment on that one way or the other. What I do know from being a man and from historically kind of being more stuck in that paradigm is I've been fucking miserable. Because I felt so cold and isolated and desolate and alone. And no amount of money or power would ever fix that wound that I've had. And I think, aside from a few men who've had a lot of power who maybe really got off on it, most men have lived that kind of a life. Historically. Of like feeling like they always have to come through and always have to be in charge and always feeling like the inversion of that, which is feeling like a failure, feeling lost, feeling weak, feeling like they can't provide, and feeling empty inside because there's no connection to the intuition, to the spiritual, to their emotions, to their love. And the way that you get to the love is through feeling more than anything. Embracing your feelings, which is very feminine in many ways. And that's what men historically are afraid of and have been taught not to do. And women too, because we all have this programming and patterning, just it manifests in different ways. But as we see that we all have it, that brings us more into unity. So for men and women both, it's all the same thing. It's healing these wounds, internal feminine mother wound and, masculine wound. They're interconnected. As we all learn the balance between like rest and nurturing and action, and we heal these wounds and we heal our emotions and we connect more, the interconnectedness starts to dawn. And then what happens is our actions become aligned and our actions become supported and our actions become in harmony with the best version of our own lives and selves, because we all have our own puzzle to solve. It's slightly different. But as we do this one by one within us, then externally we begin to raise the consciousness of the overall field that we live in, and the intelligence increases. And so the problems that we're trying to solve will start to solve themselves naturally through each of us being aligned with our own higher self and our own intuition. And then, like, those that are really meant to take certain actions in a particular way to help the planet will be guided from the right place. And we will know where we go on our own individual journey. And this is what I mean by getting out of the way. It's getting out of our own way. Getting out of the way of, like, infinite consciousness coming in and taking over for all of us, which we access through, like, a deep level of trust, which is connected to that mother wound, the feminine wound. And then again, like, we will be guided to the actions that are needed, because actions are needed. But it won't be from fear and ego in the same paradigm that created the problems to begin with. It will be a new one. And that is when things really begin to shift, and it's starting to happen now a little bit. But it's about creating that paradigm of balance and harmony internally, not, trying to change the world from the same paradigm that created the problems to begin with. And that all starts with that mother wound, because the mother wound is not just the human mother. Everything is like an archetypal microcosmic, macrocosmic reflection. So as we heal our internal mother wound, we heal our relationship with the Earth Mother, and then we heal our relationship with the universe and the cosmos, and everything comes into synchronicity and balance, and things will really begin to manifest in a more unified and harmonious manner. Anyway, I hope that helps. There's, a lot more to this topic still, but please leave any comments below. I have a free energy clearing that you can download by clicking the link in the description. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I look very forward to next time. Thank you.